So it is the RuPaul Roast, and I don't know about you, but I know I enjoy a thorough good roast on a Sunday afternoon. I'm talking about dinner. You're a pervert. Ooh, girl, it's the Kiki. The house don't work. Yes! Girl, bye. All to your shade. Girl, the library is open. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Kiki. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. Blah, 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 blah. Just hit the subscribe button, goddammit. So we are here to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9, Episode 8. And it is an episode full of comedy. Well, it's supposed to be. I mean, we have the reading challenge and we have the RuPaul Roast, so it's supposed to be real funny, but actually there's a few times that the Queen's kind of missed the mark, so we're gonna talk. But first things first, I feel like I have to apologise. Once again, this is late. I am going to do an update video as to why everything is kind of going a bit weird at the moment. There is something else going on, but we're not going to go into it. It's nothing too like depressing or anything, but it's just like my life is going absolutely apeshit crazy. I mean, put it this way, I was this close to not doing the Kiki this week. But anyway, enough of the boring chit chat and the depressing stuff. We're here to talk about comedy, people, it's comedy. So we're going to get straight into this one, and the girls come back into the workroom as they always do. And Aja is gone, which is still kind of shocking, but like, because everyone was expecting like amazing things from her. I don't know what that was, from her, and it just didn't appear. So the girls are talking about like how many wins they've got and they're trying to like psych each other out. Peppermint's like, oh girl, I haven't got a win yet. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, editors are setting this shit up for the end of the episode. Spoiler alert, Peppermint fucking wins the challenge. They're talking about Valentina being perfect and Farah is like being really bitchy to Valentina about it all. And I'm like, girl, you ain't got shit to say when you're stood there like you're fucking something out of a Stephen King novel. Am I right, Carrie? So the mini challenge this week is the reading challenge, one of my personal favourite challenges of the whole season. Because this is where the girls really get a chance to let rip and tear each other a new one. Well, they're supposed to. This season, not so much. Like, before we get into it, like, girl, a lot of these reads were quite weak. Let's be real. Like, a lot of them, some of them were recycled from previous seasons. There was a lot of Jurassic Park jokes. I'm like, girl. And then, like, as well, a lot of the queens get really sensitive about it. And I'm like, shit's sake, chill the out. Like, we will talk, we will talk, we will talk. So everyone, as I said last week, I sent you some homework. I hope you have it ready, and I hope the dog did not eat it this time. Because we are here to read these queens for filth, darling. So let's do this. The library is open. Alexis Michelle, you like to call yourself Subway Fish, and I think it's quite appropriate, really, considering you look like you've walked out of a New York sewer pipe. Hashtag Subway Alligator. So, Peppermint. What does Peppermint do? She has a tongue bar. That's not funny. She's the trans woman, but you can't pick on that. What is fucked up about you, girl? I'ma get you, girl. Peppermint. Okay, we'll come back to it. We will come back to Peppermint. Miss Valentina, you may wear a bridal gown and pray to the Virgin de Guadalupe, but trust me, darling, from what I hear, there is nothing virginal about you, girl. Sasha Velour, with that unibrow, you're more like Sasha Velour. Nina Brown, you may have won the first challenge in your Gaga-themed runway, but unfortunately for you, it is just gone downhill ever since. Shea Coulee, more like Shea Coulee. Trinity Taylor, with your history and passion for plastic surgery, you really are the true embodiment of the title Filler Queen. Peppermint, you think you're so minty fresh? Then why is it that every time I see you on the runway, you make me want to break out the pepper spray? Psst, I want your clothes to go away. And I think that's everything. I don't think I've forgotten anyone, have I? Oh, Farah? Have I not done Farah? Oh, well, that's hardly my fault, because bitch is so forgettable. Why does it look like 5 minutes? Okay, so before we carry on, I want to know what your reads are of the current queens, and actually some queens that have already departed, like James Mansfield, Kimora Black, etc, etc. Leave them in the comments below. Hashtag the library is open. So Valentina wins the mini challenge, I think quite deservedly so. She was actually really funny. Although, to be honest, had she used those jokes in like any other season, she would have like not won at all. The queens were very tame this year with their reads, as I said before, and like, you know, some of the reads that were better were actually quite scathing and cutting, and like Alexis takes issue with Farah and some of the others coming for her weight and her body shape as a read. And I get it, it's not nice to hurt people's feelings. Yeah, but the whole point of the reading challenge is to read someone, and reading is fundamental. And although, yes, I am no drag queen, and I know a lot of people read me for it, but it's like, that's part of the thing that I like about drag, is that it gives literally no shits. That's the whole point. You have to have a thick skin when it comes to drag. Yeah, and yes, I get it. Some people might, you know, have their sensitive spots, like, you know, their weight, or the way that they look, or their teeth, or whatever it is. But ultimately, that's what reading is. It's supposed to, like, kind of, you know, you have to exaggerate it. That's the point. I mean, yes, there is a line that you don't really want to cross, but when it comes to drag, to be honest, that line either doesn't exist or is so far removed that basically nothing is off limits. As Bob the Drag Queen said in the pit stop with Raja about this episode, she said, if we can joke about Roxy Andrews being left at a bus stop by her own mother when she was 3, then nothing is off limits. Because let's be real, when you watch that All Stars episode, you bitches laughed, right? At that joke, you laughed. It is dark, it is evil, but it was a funny, funny read. And that's what drag's all about. You have to, as RuPaul says, you have to laugh at it. And RuPaul calls Alexis out on this, and it's like, so you can dish it, but you can't take it. Like, this is what drag is. You've got to have a thick skin, and you've got to, like, just fucking deal with it. Ultimately, when it comes to humor and jokes, someone has to be the butt of the joke. So the girls have written their joke, blah, 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 and they're getting ready for the roast, and they are getting ready in the mirror, and obviously when they're getting in the mirror, you know, some serious shit comes out. We are going to talk about this ever so briefly, but basically we're talking about Russia and their attitudes towards LGBT. This is a huge, huge topic. Obviously, in recent years, it has gotten very difficult and very complicated for LGBT people living within Russia. Basically, what they've done is they've implemented this anti-LGBT propaganda law, which basically means that in theory, gay people are not illegal, they're not persecuted, blah, blah, blah. All that you cannot do in Russia is to promote the idea of homosexuality being normal or fine or whatever. So although technically the law doesn't state anything about, you know, outlawing gay people or gay rights and stuff, what it doesn't say is what is now being exploited by vigilantes and sort of other groups of people, which basically means that, you know, when these vigilantes go down and track down sort of gay guys who are using Grindr or whatever, they are then like torturing them, and they're filming it all, and the police are doing like nothing about it because ultimately the Kremlin is like, okay. And the world can't get too involved because Russia. And then Peppermint was saying about how this terrifying ordeal where she was in Moscow for a layover, and she was presenting female, and obviously it doesn't match her passport, and you know, it's just, you just don't do that in Russia. And you know, she said it was one of the most humiliating experiences of her life, and you're like, well, yeah, and it shouldn't be like that in the 21st century, especially in a country like Russia, but unfortunately, that's what it is. So, you know, what people do about it, they're not sure, because Russia is so big and so powerful and so influential. So, what do people? So we get to the RuPaul Roast, and we all know how that went. Put it this way, when you've not got Alaska, Jinx or Coco on your side, then it makes for a very dull roast. So what we're going to do is we're going to get involved as well. We're going to read these bitches for filth. So here with us tonight, we have the one and only Tamar Braxton. Forget all about get your life, bitch. You just need to get a life. You spend way too much time hanging around this judges panel. How many times have you been on this show? Girl, you need to get out more. Are you locked in the studio? What's going on here, girl? And also with us tonight, we have the wonderful Fortune Feemster. It's all right. I have no idea who she is either. Ross Matthews is also here. Basically the human equivalent of a hyperactive chinchilla that was caught sucking on helium. And then we move over to the grand high bitch herself, RuPaul. RuPaul is so old that she knew the Dead Sea when it was just ill. RuPaul is so old that the sinking of the Titanic nearly ruined her quinceañera. And then we move over to the wonderful Michelle Visage. Now, I'm not saying that Michelle Visage is a whore, but when she's walking home and passes a few corners alongside the New Jersey Turnpike, all the ladies present just say, "Welcome back, girl." I'm not saying that Michelle Visage is a whore, but the Dutch word for prostitute is Michelle Visage. I'm not saying that Michelle Visage is a whore, but she's had more semen in her than the US Navy. Chortle, 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 chortle. Now it's your turn. Add to the reads, girl. Add to the reads. Throw them in the comments below. So ultimately, I thought that Valentina, Sasha, Peppermint and Shay were actually quite funny, and that Alexis, Farrah and Trinity were a little bit rough. So the girls get critiqued, blah, blah, blah. We all know what's going on. And then we find out that Alexis and Farrah fall into the bottom 2, and that Peppermint who wins the challenge. Because we totally didn't see that coming up with the whole shady edit of being like, I never won a challenge. And then it's like, oh look, I won a challenge. Girl, we can see that shit coming from a mile off, darling. So yes, Alexis and Farah fall into the bottom 2 and they lip sync for their life. And it's like, it's cool, it's okay, it's fish, it's great. Dolly Parton, why is it taking so long for us to get a Dolly Parton song? I don't know. Either way, Alexis Michelle wins the lip sync and eliminates Farah Moan, and she's told to sashay away. I actually miss Farah Moan because she was really growing on me, and I'm missing her little like aww moments, because that's like just like really funny. And like at the beginning I was like, this is so like annoying, but now I really liked it and I'm already missing her. So that was this episode. I'm sorry this wasn't like particularly like in-depth or anything, but I just wanted to keep it about the comedy and just have some fun with it, really. Especially since this is like going up so late and you already know what happens in the episode. There's no point me like itemizing everything. I might as well just like have fun with it. I'm trying to be a lot more relaxed about everything and just chill. Which is very hard for me to do. I mean, I'm more highly strung than a violin on top of Everest. Ugh. I'm really funny, honestly. No, honestly, no. Seriously, I'm hilarious. So then we have to look forward to next week, where the girls are having to create their own pilot TV shows. I think it's in pairs, I'm not quite sure. But there's been a lot of tea spilled about next episode. There's actually been a lot of leaks recently with a lot of like rumours and truth and that kind of thing. And there's a few people that are becoming very credible online about some of the things they're saying. And if, from what the little I hear, because I've tried to avoid it as much as I can, but from what I've heard, I'm not going to say it, don't worry, but if what I've heard about something that happens on the runways next week happens, and the queen that apparently goes home, bitch, I will, no, I will be so hashtag done. Like, girl, no, I hope this tea don't come true, because, no ma'am, no ma'am. So that is everything, guys. So it's over to you now. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Obviously, again, I do apologise for this going up late, but once you hear the update video and stuff, hopefully it will start to make sense about what's going on. And yeah, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on social media, @ChrisSaysIt. Just find me on like everything. And until next time, guys, yes, be good, be safe. Stay fierce, stay fabulous, keep out of trouble, and I will see you guys next week. Take care, love you, bye! Bye! Hello everybody, hope you're all very well indeed. So I'm doing a little vlog today, because today is one of the biggest days of the year for me. It is the